I have a new to me vintage toy that looks like it has been well loved. And I want to see if we can make a usable item with this knit stitcher. I already have my suspicions that this doesn't actually do knitting, but we'll investigate that a little bit more when we unpack this entire vintage toy. I'm looking at this photo and I want to see if we can make this cute little bag. I like to start by unboxing what we have in here and just seeing what survived. I don't see a date on this particular kit. My best guess though is based on the clothing of the wonderful young girl on the packaging is that this is somewhere from the 1970s. And it looks like we've got the main machine and now I'm pulling out, oh my goodness. Ooh, it's a lot of plastic parts and some scraps of wool. So the first thing I want to do is I want to investigate this knit stitcher a little bit more closely. You know what would help is if we had some instructions, but it looks like the instructions haven't made it with this toy. Why don't we take a look at the knit stitcher first? So I have knitting machines, and what I was hoping to see from this knit stitcher would be like a very novel or unique way to create knitting stitches. And what I'm seeing instead is kind of something that looks like a sewing machine, and I have an inkling on what kind of stitch this creates, especially because I think whoever owned this before me did a few rows of stitches here on these plastic bits. So let's see. I'm gonna start turning it while I look at it and let's see what I see. Ooh, I mean, it does turn. Okay, so Nutella is modeling the knit stitcher for us. Thank you very much. I won't move it again because I think she would be terrified of that. Let me show you this mechanism a little bit more close up so you can get a sense of what this looks like. Do you see that there's like a hook, a needle, a compartment here? There's a whole bunch of different components to it, and there's something like a spool over there. Is that where the yarn goes? I have no idea. So we're going to have to figure this out by looking at the pictures on the packaging and seeing if we can't reverse engineer exactly how to make this knit stitcher work. So you can see here that there's kind of a guard, some sort of hook, some sort of other places that this goes in, and when I turn this crank, that hook comes down. And there's also something below here that moves. Based on the cover package photo, I think that's the spool that's supposed to hold the yarn while you're using the knit stitcher. The yarn on this picture, the yarn kind of disappears behind the knit stitcher. So I have no idea where that's supposed to go. My best guess, let me move this out of your way. My best guess is that I'm supposed to feed this in here somehow. And then as I crank, oh, it spun it completely out, so that wasn't right. Or am I supposed to take it, no. Take this off, maybe take it off and put it in, and then put it on. So it's in. And then it's on. Oh, I can slide it left and right to choose which row to work on. Okay, that's feeding it forward. That's actually feeding it through. We're making progress. That's something. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out now how to feed the yarn into this setup. Like, I don't, you know, we've got a little loop here at the front of it, but I don't know if that's a misdirection. I feel like it wouldn't be though, because why would you manufacture this piece? Because on the images where it's in use, that, from what I can see, the yarn is not fed through that loop. Oh, I think this was the belt. I think whoever owned this previously made the belt. How cute. I can tell, I'm gonna be honest, from these stitches, this is not a knit stitch. This is a version of a chain stitch. So we are not knitting. This is not a knit stitcher. This is a chain stitcher. It is how commercially made sweaters are put together, so it's how knit sweaters are constructed, but we are not knitting. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take this pink and I'm going to run it through one of these. And then we feed it through here. I'm gonna take the tail back and then put this back on. Oh my gosh, I don't know if any of this is making sense. Probably not. But also, how many of you own one of these? I would guess, I don't know, sometimes I've seen it in my other videos. Sometimes you guys own these, and that is so cool. So this is what that looks like right now. I'm gonna start stitching and we'll see. First stitch, let's see what happens. Nope, that did nothing. Okay, the problem is, before I put one of these cards in, the hook was going down and then turning and then coming back up. But for some reason right now, the hook isn't turning and I don't know why. Oh, that's kind of cool. This has some sort of gearing protection there where you can't turn it the wrong way. Some of the other things that I've owned that have handles, you could potentially turn it the wrong way and break some of the mechanisms. But it seems like what they did on this one, if you turn it the wrong way, it won't do that. Oh no, I've just got it fully stuck. Okay, that's not right. I might have broken the mechanism because it's no longer doing the turny thing. Well, you can kind of see the teeth a little bit better that move the underpiece forward. Can you see that? So that moves the plastic bit forward. I think you can see that it did work at some point, but I think I broke a bit of the mechanism, although there are 3 screws on the top here, so I am very tempted to take that off and see. Oh, interesting. This flaps back and forth. I don't know why. Okay, I think it's time to grab a screwdriver and take a look at this mechanism and see what I might have accidentally broken. Oops. Alrighty. Let us loosen these screws. Let's see what we're dealing with. Oh wow, these are tight. My other idea is that I take a look at my sewing machine, which is just over there for me. Because that is also a chain stitch machine, to see how it forms the stitches again in detail, to get an idea of how this mechanism might be supposed to be working. This heart seems to be preventing me from taking this off fully. Not trying to break anything, but oh, starting to see some springs and gears in there, but I don't want to break this because there's stuff that looks like it's attached to the top. How is that heart attached? Oh, it's 2 pins. Oh, oops. Those are actually screws. I thought they were pins. Oh no, the heart was covering the fact that they were screws. Oh, okay, so I did indeed break that. That's the mechanism. Isn't that so cool? Oh, I think something got unseated. Everything just fell apart. This is all that I'm left with right now. Oh no. Oh no, that just disappeared into the belly. Oh, that was stupid to let me. That was so dumb to let that happen. So this is the carnage of me attempting to fix the gearing mechanism, and instead I just kind of tore everything apart. So this is the main housing of the machine. So this is the gear mechanism that is attached to that little turn thing on the outside that I was turning to activate things. It turns 2 gears. One is on this side, and that is what activates the teeth that are underneath, the ones that were kind of coming up like this. And it's what makes these kind of come up and out like that to move the plastic bit along. And then the other side, this kind of flat disc, this is the one that activates the hook that's supposed to do the knitting, aka the chain stitch. This is the hook that it's supposed to activate. It interacts with this little knob, turns the gear back and forth, and the whole needle is also supposed to go up and down, or the hook, sorry, is supposed to go up and down and side to side. So that's kind of that turning motion that I was talking about that wasn't happening before. So it's supposed to go down, hook, and up. Down, hook, and up. And that's supposed to pull the yarn up and create a loop of the chain stitch mechanism. We've got a few, decorative bits that cover the top and a bunch of springs that were on the other mechanisms and bits. Okay, tiny pause for the vintage knitting toy chaos because today's video is sponsored by Quince. And this actually feels weirdly appropriate because I'm testing something and asking, was this made well and does it work and will it continue to work? And that's kind of how I'm trying to think about the things that I buy now too. I want simple, beautiful pieces that make me feel like they'll still make sense in my life later. I was gifted this 100% European linen midi dress and it's my favorite. It definitely feels a lot like me. I love linen. I've made my own linen. And that's what I like about Quince. They make high quality essentials across clothing, home, and accessories. Things like 100% Mongolian cashmere, silk, linen, wool, bedding, jewelry, leather bags, and home goods. And because they work directly with manufacturers, the prices are much more accessible for the quality. You've been seeing me wear this Mongolian cashmere tee, which looks surprisingly vintage. And I also got this French blue linen pajama set, which is so comfy and breathable and cute. A merino wool half zip, which is also very useful because it still kind of cools down a lot at night. And it's just all the beautifully soft natural fiber things that I want in my wardrobe. Ideally, I'd make everything myself from scratch, but I don't have that much time or energy, so this is wonderful to fill in those gaps. You can shop Quince by using the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. They offer free shipping and 365-day returns. Thank you again so much to Quince for sponsoring today's video and making videos like this even possible. And let's get back to figuring out this vintage knitting machine toy. Okay, I've taken a little bit of a break to kind of deliberate what I want to do with this piece of equipment. And I could spend the time to try to get it to go back together, but I'm going to be honest. I asked myself the question of if it's worth it or not, and I have to be honest, I don't know that it's exactly worth it to do that for this, because it's not going to create something that ultimately I can use. What I'm realizing is that this machine only works with these plastic bits, and I don't have any more other than basically they were all already completed from the previous, or one of the previous owners of this knit stitcher. So I can't do much more than what's already been done with this kit. So instead, what I was thinking is, if you're someone who likes to tinker with things and you kind of want to figure this out and you want to put it back together and you want to take a closer look at it, send me an email and I will randomly select one person who will get this knit stitcher, and you're welcome to try to put it back together and get it back into working order. I will be accepting entries for the next week from the live date of this video, and again, it'll be just like a random entry giveaway with, typical terms and conditions. Other than that though, we do have a few finished bits from the previous owner, so why don't we take a look at that? This is a belt. It is broken kind of in the middle. They tied some knots. So why don't I put it on? Right, so I am wearing a vintage sweater and my pajama pants, so please excuse that. And here's the belt. This kind of comes together with this little clip. So, cute two-toned belt. I don't think it would actually structurally hold anything up, but it is a fun accessory, and Nutella very much agrees. Now, do we want to try to maybe make the bag with the pieces that we have? we've got a few like plastic bits in here that might help us. I don't know, they are cute. Okay, let's see. Let's see what the bag is constructed from. Oh, they're little charms for the bag. So there's the bag, and the little things, the plastic pieces are all little charms that you can put on the bag. So what we need is a bunch of strips to connect them, the sides and the handles. So we've got one handle. I think these are connectors. And I've got one side. Can I even make a bag? Hold on, let's see. One handle and two sides, okay. It snaps in here along the edge. It's very tight. Whew, okay, so that's in. Is this supposed to go through here? Oh, maybe that's how that's, oh, I think that's how that works. So this forms the side and goes all the way around. Oh my gosh, my poor fingers. This kind of hurts. Okay. So we've got one side of the bag attached. And now I need to figure out how to like connect these. Do I just take this and kind of, oh, do I now put it through and go like this using that connector and pushing it through both layers of the plastic bits as best as I can. Ow, this is really starting to hurt my fingers. Okay, we've made the bag a little bit wider. That hurts my hands a lot. So we might just end the bag there. Oh, yeah, ow, my finger hurts. Beautiful, okay, now the handle. Again, I only have one handle, so they just kind of, you just kind of pick a spot and they kind of just go through. Oops. Well, it would help if I didn't drop it, but you pick a spot for them. Handle. It kind of looks like a little cell phone holder, honestly. It's kind of the perfect size for a phone. Oh, almost. If my phone didn't have the case on it, I think it could slide in really nicely. A little cell phone holder. What I do want to do is I want to accessorize this cute little bag. 4-leaf clover that we can put on. We've got some hearts. The sun, beautiful. Oh, is this like a sheriff's star with a heart in the center? Some more hearts. Yeah. Oh my goodness. How cute is that? So I am fully kitted out with my beautiful belt and my cute little cell phone holder bag, we'll call it. It's always interesting for me to try out these vintage toys, especially the knitting machines or knitting toys. So far, there's only been one that's actually been, or two that have been knit. If you want to see those, I will leave a playlist here for the vintage toys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know that we all have very limited time, so I appreciate that you spend some of that with me. I hope that this goes to a good home. I feel like I just tore it apart and it never even worked for me in the first place. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye!